Welcome to the 100 Grand Man podcast. I am your host, Reggie Lewis. And guys, I got a good one for you. I got an article out of the Jerusalem Post that was sent to me. I'm going to post a link in my description. It's from Ground News, where I get a lot of my facts from Ground News. And before I get into it, I want you to hit the like, comment, and subscribe to help the page grow. Because, like I said previous times, we're going to expose this fascist, racist regime, and let's get into it. So, we all know about what's going on in Iran. We all know about this quote unquote war that the Republicans is trying to say is not a war. But we also been hearing stories about, the little girls, the little school that got hit in the casualty of this war. So, it was brought to my attention about this article out of the Jerusalem Post. And the U.S. investigation points to likely U.S. responsibility in Iran school strike, sources say. The U.S. military investigators are looking into a possible strike on an Iranian school that killed dozens of children. The Pentagon denies targeting civilians. The investigation concludes. We cannot trust this administration. We know we cannot trust this administration. But the one thing we're always going to do is follow the stories and follow the facts. U.S. military investigators believe it is likely that U.S. forces were responsible for an apparent strike on a Iranian girls' school that killed scores of children on Saturday, but not have yet reached a final conclusion or completed their investigation, two U.S. officials told Reuters. Reuters was unable to determine more details about the investigation, including what evidence contribute to the tentative assessment, what type of munition was used, who was responsible, or why the U.S. might have struck the school. I'm quite sure this wasn't deliberate, or they didn't personally, if this is correct, or they didn't personally do this. But this right here is definitely something that need to be talked about and need to be brought up. The public need answers. Not only the Iranian public, but the US public. Because one thing we're not savages. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth on Wednesday acknowledged the U.S. military was investigating the incident. The officials who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive military matters did not rule out the possibility that new evidence could emerge that absolved the U.S. of responsibility and points to another responsible partner in the incident. Another responsible partner in the incident. So they're saying it wasn't them, but it was somebody who was with them or a part of their attack that did this. So y'all are part of this regardless. Because if how this is written and talked about, even if it wasn't particular your missiles or your strike, being that y'all strike together, you are part of this. Reuters could not determine how much longer the investigation will last or what evidence U.S. investigators are seeking before the assessment can be completed. The girls' school in Minab in southern Iran was hit on Saturday during the first day of U.S. and Israeli attacks on the country. Iran ambassador to the UN in Geneva, Ali, said the strike killed 150 students. Reuters could not independently confirm the death toll. The Pentagon referred questions from Reuters to the U.S. military Central Command, whose spokesman, Captain Timothy Hawkins, said it would be inappropriate to comment given the incident is under investigation. Because at the end of the day, they know whether it was them or it was not them, they play a part in this. And the American people needs to hear about this. And we need answers and we need facts. And we don't need no cover ups. We don't need no lying. We need y'all to tell the 100% truth. Because if this was us, we have to own that. You guys got to own that. Excuse me, you guys got to own that. And something has to happen. People got to get fired or whatever got to happen. But at the end of the day, if we are in it of killing kids, Even if it was accidentally, something has to happen. We're not savages. We're not barbaric like that. The United States of America stands for unity. So at the end of the day, once again, we need answers. The White House did not directly comment on the investigation, but Press Secretary Caroline KKK Levitt said in a statement to Reuters, while the Department of War is currently investigating this matter, the Iranian regime targets civilians and children, not the United States of America. First of all, stop it. Stop it. Because the United States of America under this regime targets Americans and children. We don't kill children. We don't kill Americans. But it has happened under their watch. Renee Good, Alex Preddy, y'all have killed Americans. Snatched a little 5-year-old boy. So we're not trying to hear that shit. We need the facts. Stop deflecting. Stop saying stuff that you don't know the 100% facts until the investigation is over. Asked about the incident during a news briefing on Wednesday, Hesseg said, "We're investigating that. We, of course, never target civilian targets, but we're taking a look and investigating that." U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio told reporters on Monday that the United States would not deliberately target a school. We're not saying that y'all literally targeted this school. The article was basically saying that it's a possibility that during your war, this school was a tragedy, meaning it was accidentally, regardless. Because I don't think they even attempted to try to of school. The Department of War be investigating that if that was our strike, and I will refer your question to them. Rubio said, "We don't trust them either. We don't." Marco Rubio, Pete Heshead, Donald Trump, Caroline KKK Lever, Pam Bondi, Tom Holman. We don't trust none of y'all at all. Nothing y'all can say. We need an independent investigation because there's nothing that's going to come out of this. Even if it wasn't us, we still do not want them investigating, because if it wasn't them, it was Israel. And just think about it. You think they're going to throw Israel under the bus when they were them and Israel the ones who done this? They're going to manipulate it. They're going to spin a different propaganda, and they're going to try to say it was Iran who hit their own girls' school. So we do not trust them. Israeli and U.S. forces have until now divided their attacks in Iran both geographically and by target type. A senior Israeli official and a source with direct knowledge of the joint planning said, while Israel was striking missiles launch sites in western Iran, the United States was attacking such targets as well as naval ones in the south. The UN Human Rights Office, without saying who is believed was responsible for the strikes on the school, called Tuesday for an investigation. So the UN, United Nations, are not fucking beat, because this is a tragedy. Little girls, no matter who they was a part of, far as like Iranian girls, Israel girls, American girls, Somalian girls, doesn't matter. Little kids was massacred because y'all want to be in a war. Those type, if that was your part of your strategic planning, you failed. No matter if, like I said, if it's the USA or it's the Iranian, point blank, or I mean Israel, point blank period. Somebody need to own up to this, and the American people need to know exactly who did this. That's my show. I'll be back for more. Yeah,